This wild edible segment is going to be on burdock. This is the burdock plant right here. Sometimes these leaves get just huge. This is young. We're still in the spring here, so. But I'm going to make a video on this. And I think this one will be a good one to pull the root out. The root is mainly what we're going to eat on this. There are other things that we'll discuss. But let's just talk what it looks like. There isn't anything like this that's poisonous. There's two different types of burdock that are common, and each of them are edible. It kind of reminds me of rhubarb, which of course then the leaves would be poisonous, but you don't see rhubarb growing in the wild unless you're in an old farm stand or something like that. So what I'm going to do, I'd like to get this dug up, get the root out of it, and then go up to the front yard. There's some up there because mosquitoes are horrible down here. Everything you hear about the Minnesota mosquito is true. That's a pretty nice root to deal with. I could dig down farther, they get really long, but I'm just going to use this much here because we're just going to slice them up and cook them today and see what they taste like. So let's go up and look at a couple of smaller plants. Okay, well here we've got a stand, actually quite a few burdock plants, little ones. And then if I get over to this side, we get a little bit bigger. And then we've got a big one like what we had down below. And now I don't know if we can see it here, but if you look right in here, you can see it plain as day. On the back side of these leaves, it's like there's a spider that's just making tons of webs. Look at that. Look at those dang mosquitoes. They're horrible. Anyway, and that's just one way you can tell on the back side here, because it's kind of white, kind of fuzzy, but it looks just like it's got spider webs all over it. So anyway, we'll discuss. I'm going to go up inside now and we'll discuss all the good things about this plant. Well, now that we're inside, away from all those mosquitoes, here we have the plant. I dug up one more. This one is a smaller. Now, I don't know if these are 2-year-old plants, then the root's going to be really tough and it's not going to want to cook up right. So, and I'm not really going to know until I get into it and get these cut up and see what happens. But now I know that these are burdock, but I always take my little weeds book and I go against, and just to make sure. And the reason why I brought this up, when you look at this plant, they're showing the flower stalk coming up here. This does not look anything like, looking at this drawing, like what we see in the woods. Now I know this is burdock, but if I didn't, I would not trust that one bit. But I wanted to bring this up. I don't know if you can see this very well, but these they're little flowers. You know, we call them hitchhikers, but they're the big hairy ones that stick on your pants. I don't know, you'd have to live, you know, I live up here in Minnesota, but over on the east here, everything is pretty common. So, and those little suckers, they'll stick on there, and or on your dog or a cat or whatever. Oh, and then when you try to pull them off, the whole thing doesn't come off in a chunk. It comes off in little chunks. So, but anyway, we've got this burdock here, and then of course I would second it again by going to another drawing like this. Now here you can see better, but it's not a color drawing. But looking at that root, you know, I can see that that's kind of what we got going there. And this one here too. So anyway, now here's another picture of those. If you guys have seen those before, those, I would call them hitchhikers, but they're little flower top, they're seed. Okay, so now that we know what the plant looks like and we're getting a little more familiar with it, just remember, look on the back and you'll see those little tiny things that look like there was a spider has been just going crazy making a web there. So you can't really see that good on the camera, I don't think. But this is really, for what it has in it, it's amazing. Because when you look at these, you would never think that they would be edible, but it's so high in vitamin C, vitamin B1, B6, B12, and vitamin E. And one thing, if you're a diabetic, you really want to know about this, because you eat this root, it's got inulin in it, and I really don't know what that is, but I know it kind of self-regulates the blood sugar in your body, so it's supposed to be really good for that. What I'm going to do now, I want to go upstairs and get these cleaned up. Let's get these cut up and cooked. I'll be doing other videos on burdock later in the season when the flower stalk comes up. There's part of that you can eat, and just stuff like that. But today I just want to concentrate on doing this root, getting it cleaned up, sliced, fried, and we'll see how that tastes. You know, you get too long on the video, people really don't want to watch, but I will put a list of all the different stuff in the description that this does for you, and then as other videos come out on it, you'll learn more as well. So let's go upstairs and get this cleaned up. got them cleaned up, and you can see I used a peeler, carrot peeler, and I peeled it. You don't have to. And if I was out in the woods, of course, I wouldn't have a peeler, but they say to get it really clean, you should use like a wire brush or whatever, and I didn't have one, so I thought I'm just going to peel it. And so what you want to do, very thin slices, cross the grain at an angle like this. Well, I'd say that should be enough for what we're going to try here. So we sliced them thin. These ones here look really woody, so I don't know, since I don't know if this is second year growth or this, the second year plant, I'm not sure. So by having a couple different plants, one of these ought to be pretty good. So anyway, that's what it looks like when it gets chopped up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute this in some butter, my old standby. A lot of the recipes call for boiling this. When you smell it, it smells like the greens, like leaves. So it doesn't have any, doesn't smell like it looks anyway. So anyway, I'm going to get this melted up, and I'll throw this in, and I'm going to saute it for a while. When they say boiling, it will make it tenderer, but and they use this to throw into a lot of meals to add an additive to it, but I like to kind of eat them as a standalone so you know what the flavor is that you're going to be putting into whatever recipe. So let's give this a try, and we'll come back and I'll let you know how it tastes. Okay, so now it's all fried up, sauteed in butter and stuff. I got Zach down here. We're going to give it a try. Before it smelled kind of green, and now it smells kind of nutty, which is what it's supposed to taste like, but we get mixed reviews, so I don't know, Zach. Let's give her a shot.
Should I try it?
Mm-hmm. It's not too bad. The consistency is...
That's not bad.
It does kind of taste nutty. A little bit sweeter than I thought. Just like a sweetness to it.
Taste,
I'm going to try this bigger one because I think this may be too...
like a really oily sunflower seed.
Well, that's because I did it in butter. And these bigger ones here, they are still edible, but they are tougher. Not bad.
That's pretty good.
All right, well, thanks for watching the Joe and Zach Survival Channel on